If over 60, I need you to stop what you're doing and listen to this. What I'm about to share with you could be the difference between breathing freely for years to come or struggling for every breath you take. You might have noticed that climbing stairs leaves you more winded than it used to. Maybe you've been waking up with that persistent morning cough, or you find yourself clearing your throat constantly throughout the day. Perhaps you've noticed that you can't walk as far as you once could without feeling like you need to catch your breath. As a lung specialist with over 18 years of experience treating seniors, I've seen thousands of patients walk through my office doors, and I keep seeing the same dangerous pattern. Too many of my patients are unknowingly destroying their lung health with habits they practice every single night, habits that seem completely harmless, but are quietly stealing their ability to breathe. Here's what terrifies me as a doctor. By the time most seniors realise what's happening to their lungs, they've already lost 30 to 40% of their lung function. That's like trying to run your life on half the oxygen you actually need. Your independence, your ability to play with grandchildren, your capacity to enjoy simple pleasures like gardening or walking through the park, all of it hangs in the balance. But here's the promise I'm making to you today. I'm going to reveal the top 10 nighttime habits that are slowly suffocating your lungs, and I'm going to show you simple changes that can help restore your breathing capacity. We're going to count down from 10 to 1, and when we get to that number 1 most dangerous habit, you're going to understand why I lose sleep at night, worrying about seniors who don't know what they're doing to themselves. Habit number 10, sleeping with your bedroom door closed. You're settling into bed, pulling up the covers, and out of habit, you close your bedroom door for privacy and quiet. It seems like the natural thing to do, doesn't it? But here's what's really happening that most people never realise. When you close that bedroom door, you're creating what I call a stagnant air pocket. Think of your bedroom like a sealed container. Throughout the night, you're breathing in oxygen and breathing out carbon dioxide, but there's nowhere for that stale air to go. After about 2 hours, the oxygen levels in your room start to drop significantly, and the carbon dioxide levels begin to climb. Your lungs are working harder and harder to extract oxygen from increasingly poor air. It's like trying to breathe through a straw that keeps getting narrower. After weeks of this pattern, your lung tissues start to work in overdrive every single night. Over months, this constant strain begins to weaken the tiny air sacs in your lungs called alveoli. Years of this habit can contribute to reduced lung capacity and chronic fatigue. The solution is simpler than you think. Crack your bedroom door open just 2 to 3 inches. If privacy is a concern, consider installing a small, quiet fan in your hallway to promote gentle air circulation. This simple change can increase the oxygen availability in your bedroom by up to 15% throughout the night. Your lungs will thank you, and you might just wake up feeling more refreshed than you have in years. Habit number 9, using multiple pillows to prop yourself up. It's 10 p.m. and you're getting ready for bed, but you've been dealing with that nagging sensation of not being able to breathe easily when you lie flat. So you grab an extra pillow, maybe even a third one, propping yourself up because it feels like you can breathe better that way. Here's the medical reality that most people don't understand. When you prop yourself up with multiple pillows, you're actually creating what's called a kink in your airway. Think of your throat like a garden hose. When you bend a hose sharply, water can't flow through properly. The same thing happens to your airway when you prop yourself up incorrectly. What's really happening is that your neck is being forced into an unnatural position that partially compresses your windpipe. Your diaphragm, the large muscle that helps you breathe, can't move freely because your torso is at an awkward angle. After weeks of sleeping this way, you're training your body to take shallow, inefficient breaths. Over months, your lung capacity actually decreases because your breathing muscles aren't getting the full range of motion they need. Years of this pattern can lead to weakened respiratory muscles and chronic shortness of breath. The fix is to invest in a wedge pillow specifically designed for breathing issues. Or better yet, elevate the head of your entire bed by 6 to 8 inches using blocks under the bed frame. This creates a gentle, natural slope that keeps your airway open without kinking your neck. When you sleep in proper alignment, your lungs can expand fully and you'll wake up feeling like you actually got the oxygen your body needs. Habit number 8, drinking alcohol within 3 hours of bedtime. It helps you relax and you feel like it makes you sleepy. But what you don't realize is that this innocent evening ritual is quietly sabotaging your lung health in ways that might shock you. Here's what alcohol does to your respiratory system that most people never learn. Alcohol is a central nervous system depressant, which means it slows down the signals between your brain and your breathing muscles. Think of it like turning down the volume on your body's automatic breathing control system. When you drink alcohol before bed, your brain doesn't send strong enough signals to keep your throat muscles firm during sleep. This causes your airway to collapse partially, creating what sounds like snoring, but is actually brief moments where you stop breathing entirely. These are called microapneas, and they can happen dozens of times throughout the night without you even knowing it. After weeks of this pattern, your blood oxygen levels drop during sleep, and your heart has to work harder to pump oxygen-poor blood throughout your body. Over months, this chronic oxygen deprivation starts to damage the delicate tissues in your lungs. Years of this habit can contribute to serious conditions like sleep apnea, chronic fatigue, and even heart problems. The solution is to create a 3-hour buffer between your last alcoholic drink and bedtime. If you enjoy an evening drink, have it with dinner rather than as a nightcap. Your sleep quality will improve dramatically, and your lungs will get the steady oxygen flow they need to repair and regenerate overnight. Trust me, the trade-off is worth it when you wake up feeling truly rested. Habit number 7, sleeping in a room that's too warm. You like to keep your bedroom cozy and warm, especially during colder months. Maybe you have the thermostat set to 72 or 75 degrees, or you pile on extra blankets because being warm feels comforting. But here's the concerning truth about what this seemingly innocent preference is doing to your breathing. When your bedroom is too warm, your body has to work harder to regulate its temperature throughout the night. Think of your lungs like an air conditioning system for your body. In a warm room, they have to work overtime to help cool your blood through rapid, shallow breathing patterns. Warm air also holds more moisture than cool air, which means you're breathing in humid, heavy air all night long. Your lungs have to work harder to extract oxygen from this thick, moisture-laden air. It's like trying to breathe through a damp washcloth. After weeks of sleeping in overly warm conditions, your breathing becomes chronically shallow and rapid. Over months, this constant strain on your respiratory system can lead to inflammation in your airways. Years of this pattern can contribute to chronic respiratory irritation and reduced lung efficiency. The optimal temperature for lung health during sleep is between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. I know this might feel cool at first, but your body will adjust within a few nights. Use breathable bedding materials like cotton or bamboo, and if you get cold, add a light blanket rather than heating the entire room. Your lungs will work more efficiently in cooler air, and you'll likely find that you sleep more soundly and wake up feeling more refreshed. Habit number 6, eating large meals. Within 2 hours of bedtime, it's 8 p.m., and you're finally sitting down to dinner after a busy day. Maybe you had a light lunch, and you're genuinely hungry. So you enjoy a full, satisfying meal before heading to bed a couple of hours later. This seems perfectly normal, but it's creating a serious problem for your lung health that most people never connect. When you eat a large meal close to bedtime, your stomach expands significantly and pushes upward against your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is the large, dome-shaped muscle that sits just below your lungs and does most of the work of breathing. Think of it like trying to expand a balloon while someone is pressing up against it from below. This upward pressure reduces your lung capacity by as much as 20% while you sleep. Your lungs literally can't expand to their full size because your full stomach is taking up space in your chest cavity. Your body compensates by taking faster, shallower breaths, but this means you're not getting the deep, restorative breathing that your lungs need during sleep. After weeks of this pattern, you're chronically under-oxygenated during the most important healing time of your day. Over months, this can lead to morning headaches, fatigue, and that feeling of never being fully rested. Years of this habit can contribute to weakened respiratory muscles and chronic breathing difficulties. The solution is to finish eating at least 3 hours before bedtime, or if you must eat later, keep it light and easily digestible. Think of foods like a small bowl of soup, a piece of fruit, or a handful of nuts. Save your larger meals for earlier in the day when your body has time to digest before sleep. When your diaphragm can move freely all night long, your lungs can do their job of repairing and regenerating damaged tissue. Habit number 5, sleeping with mouth open due to nasal congestion. You've been dealing with stuffiness, allergies, or sinus issues, and by the time you lie down at night, you simply can't breathe through your nose. So you breathe through your mouth while you sleep. It seems like the only option, but this habit is causing more damage to your lung health than you might imagine. When you breathe through your mouth instead of your nose, you're bypassing your body's natural air filtration system. Your nose is designed to warm, humidify, and filter the air before it reaches your lungs. Think of your nose like a sophisticated air purifier that prepares every breath for your delicate lung tissue. Mouth breathing means you're sending cold, dry, unfiltered air directly into your lungs all night long. This irritates the sensitive tissues in your airways and can cause inflammation and swelling. Your lungs have to work harder to extract oxygen from this harsh, unprepared air. After weeks of mouth breathing, your throat and airways become chronically dry and irritated. Over months, this constant irritation can lead to increased susceptibility to respiratory infections and chronic cough. Years of this pattern can contribute to more serious lung problems and reduced overall respiratory health. The key is addressing the underlying nasal congestion. Try using a humidifier in your bedroom to add moisture to the air. Consider nasal strips that can help open your nasal passages, or talk to your doctor about safe, natural ways to reduce nighttime congestion. Some people find relief with a small amount of saline nasal spray before bed. When you can breathe through your nose again, your lungs will get the properly conditioned air they need to stay healthy and function efficiently. Habit number 4, using scented products in your bedroom. You want your bedroom to smell fresh and pleasant, so you use scented candles, air fresheners, fabric softeners, or room sprays. These products make your space feel clean and inviting, but they're introducing chemicals into the air that you're breathing for 7 to 8 hours every single night. Most commercial fragrances contain volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, which are chemicals that easily become airborne. Think of these like invisible irritants floating in your bedroom air. Every breath you take while sleeping is bringing these chemicals directly into your lungs, where they can cause inflammation and irritation. Your lungs are working all night to filter out these foreign substances instead of focusing on their primary job of oxygen exchange and tissue repair. It's like asking your lungs to be both a breathing organ and a chemical processing plant at the same time. After weeks of exposure to these chemicals, many people develop chronic throat irritation or a persistent cough. Over months, this constant low-level irritation can contribute to increased sensitivity to other airborne irritants. Years of this exposure can contribute to more serious respiratory sensitivities and reduced lung function. The solution is to eliminate all scented products from your bedroom. If you want your room to smell fresh, focus on good ventilation and natural methods like keeping it clean and dry. If you must have fragrance, consider a single drop of pure essential oil on a cotton ball placed far from your bed, but even this should be used sparingly. Your lungs will thank you for giving them clean, chemical-free air to work with all night long. Habit number 3, sleeping with pets in your bed. Your furry companion has been sleeping with you for years. They're comforting, warm, and you love having them close. But if you're over 60 and concerned about your lung health, this beloved habit might be causing more problems than you realize. Even the cleanest, most well-groomed pets shed dander, which consists of tiny flakes of dead skin that are invisible to the naked eye. These microscopic particles become airborne and float around your bedroom all night. Think of it like breathing through a fine dust cloud for 8 hours straight. Pet dander is one of the most common allergens, and it can cause chronic low-level inflammation in your airways. Your immune system treats these particles as foreign invaders, causing your airways to produce excess mucus and become swollen. This makes it harder for air to flow freely in and out of your lungs. After weeks of exposure, many people develop a chronic cough or find themselves clearing their throat frequently. Over months, this ongoing inflammation can lead to increased susceptibility to respiratory infections. Years of this exposure can contribute to the development of asthma-like symptoms or chronic bronchitis. I know this is difficult advice to follow because our pets are family members. If moving your pet out of the bedroom isn't an option, consider these compromises. Use a high-quality air purifier in your bedroom. Wash your bedding in hot water weekly, and groom your pet regularly to reduce dander. But if you're serious about optimizing your lung health, creating a pet-free sleeping environment will allow your lungs to focus on healing rather than fighting off allergens all night long. Habit number 2, sleeping on your back. When you have breathing issues. When you're having trouble breathing, lying on your back might seem like the most natural position. Your chest is open, nothing is compressed, and it feels like you should be able to breathe easily. But for many seniors, especially those with any underlying lung concerns, sleeping on your back can actually make breathing more difficult. When you lie on your back, gravity causes your tongue and the soft tissues in your throat to fall backward. This can partially block your airway, making it harder for air to flow freely. Think of it like a partially collapsed tunnel that air has to squeeze through. Additionally, when you're on your back, the weight of your chest and organs presses down on your lungs from above. This reduces the space your lungs have to expand and can make each breath feel like more work. Your diaphragm has to work against gravity to help your lungs inflate fully. After weeks of struggling with partially obstructed breathing during sleep, your sleep quality suffers dramatically. Over months, this chronic sleep disruption can lead to daytime fatigue and reduced cognitive function. Years of poor sleep quality due to breathing difficulties can contribute to more serious health problems throughout your body. The solution is to try sleeping on your side, specifically your left side if possible. This position keeps your airway open and allows your lungs to expand more freely. If side sleeping is uncomfortable, try placing a small pillow between your knees for support. When you find a sleeping position that allows easy, unobstructed breathing, your sleep quality will improve dramatically and your lungs will get the rest they need to function optimally. Habit number 1, sleeping in a room with poor air quality. This is the habit that keeps me awake at night as a doctor because it's so common and so destructive. Yet most people have no idea they're slowly suffocating themselves while they sleep. You go to bed in the same room every night, but you never think about the quality of the air in that room. Maybe you haven't changed your bedding in a week. There's dust on the surfaces. The air feels stagnant. Or you notice a musty smell that you've gotten used to. You might think this is normal, but poor bedroom air quality is the silent destroyer of lung health in seniors. Here's why this is the most dangerous habit of all. You spend 1/3 of your life in your bedroom, breathing the same air for 7 to 8 hours straight. If that air is contaminated with dust mites, mold spores, bacteria or chemical pollutants, you're essentially giving your lungs a toxic bath every single night. Dust mites live in mattresses, pillows and bedding, and they produce waste products that become airborne. Mold can grow in areas with poor ventilation, releasing spores that irritate lung tissue. Bacteria can multiply in humid conditions, creating an environment that's hostile to healthy breathing. Think of your bedroom like a fish tank. If you never clean the water, change the filter, or add fresh oxygen, the fish will slowly sicken and die. Your lungs are experiencing the same thing in a room with poor air quality. After weeks of breathing contaminated air, your lungs become chronically inflamed and irritated. Over months, this constant assault on your respiratory system can lead to persistent cough, increased mucus production, and frequent respiratory infections. Years of this exposure can contribute to serious conditions like chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, asthma, or other long-term breathing problems. But here's the hope I want to give you. This is completely fixable. Start by washing all your bedding in hot water at least once a week. Vacuum your mattress monthly and consider using dust mite covers on your pillows and mattress. Open your windows for at least 10 minutes every day to let fresh air circulate. If you live in an area with poor outdoor air quality, invest in a high-quality air purifier for your bedroom. Check for any signs of mold or mildew, especially around windows or in corners where moisture might collect. Use a dehumidifier if your bedroom feels humid. These simple changes can transform your bedroom from a lung health hazard into a healing sanctuary. I've seen patients turn their breathing problems around in just weeks by improving their bedroom air quality. Your body wants to heal, and when you give your lungs clean, fresh air to work with, they can do remarkable things. Let me share something that might surprise you. Most people think lung damage is permanent and irreversible, but that's not entirely true. Your lungs have an amazing ability to repair themselves when you remove the sources of damage and give them what they need to heal. I've had patients in their 70s and 80s who thought their breathing problems were just a normal part of aging, but after making these simple changes to their nighttime habits, they were climbing stairs without getting winded, playing with their grandchildren and enjoying activities they thought were lost forever. The time to act is now, but remember, you have control over this. You don't need expensive treatments or complicated medical procedures. You just need to stop doing the things that are hurting your lungs and start creating an environment where they can heal. Here's what I want you to do this week. Pick the easiest habit to change first. Maybe it's cracking your bedroom door open a few inches or washing your bedding in hot water. Take that one small step and pay attention to how you feel. I bet you'll notice a difference in your energy and breathing within just a few days. Your lungs have been working hard for you for decades. They deserve clean air, proper rest, and the chance to heal. You're not just changing habits, you're giving yourself the gift of easier breathing, better sleep, and more energy to enjoy the things that matter most to you. Remember, every breath you take is a chance to nourish your body and support your health. Make those breaths count by creating the optimal environment for your lungs to do their job. If you found this information helpful, please share it with other seniors in your life who might be unknowingly damaging their lung health. Together, we can help more people breathe easier and live healthier lives. Your lungs are incredible organs with amazing healing power. Give them the chance to show you what they can do.